Hi guys, my name's Adam Young. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the differences between 10-year-old irons and brand new irons. So the old irons that I'm going to be testing are Callaway Razor X Tours, and the new irons I'm going to be testing are ones I recently got, which is the Titleist T300s. So perhaps you're looking to change your irons. Maybe you're like myself, you've had these for such a long time. Maybe you're playing on the course and you find that your buddies have started to hit it past you and you're thinking, you shouldn't be hitting it past me. Maybe it's the irons. So we're going to actually find that out in this test. And it's going to help you determine whether it's worth it or not. Now, luckily for you, I'm not affiliated with any club or any brand. So this test is going to be as honest as I can make it. I have nothing to gain from promoting one product or another. And another benefit for you is that I'm actually quite a short hitter for a pro. So when you look at my test, it'll be quite relatable to yourself. I think there's nothing worse than watching someone test clubs, a pro test clubs, and seeing the ball fly 210 yards with a 7-iron, because it's not relatable for most amateur golfers. I'm going to be testing a 6-iron for both, and I know what many people are thinking. You know, these days a 6-iron is much stronger than it used to be, and that is true. However, the clubs that I'm going to be testing, the Callaway Razor X Pros, they were quite far ahead of their time, and they were very strong lofted for their day. So a 6-iron with the Callaways is 28 degrees. And the 6-iron in these new T300s is 26 degrees. So yes, there is a difference. It's 2 degrees, half a club, but not as much as you'd see with most other brands or different models. Now for this test, I'm going to be hitting shots and I will talk through. So I'll be going through the shots in real time and telling you things about the quality of strike, the quality of ground contact, things like that, just to give you a bit more information on each shot. I have the advantage of using the Foresight Sports GC Quad. This gives me incredible data for coaching and for testing. So I'm going to get all the information about where I struck it on the face, where I presented the face, all the club data that you'd need, as well as all the ball data. Alright, so we're going to start with the 6-iron, the brand new 6-iron. This is the Titleist T300. I'm going to be using a Titleist Pro V1X golf ball throughout this test. So let's get started. The computer's all tagged up so it knows which club it is. Alright, that felt pretty good. Nice start. Ever so slightly to the right. Now a tour level shot is about 6% away from the target. So, you know, if you're 200 yards, then that's going to be 12 yards away from the target. That was 190 yards of carry and 4 yards offline. It's about as good as I can hit it. Slightly toe, 2 millimeters off the toe, it says. I tried to intentionally hit that one a little bit more from the heel. I probably did. Maybe a tiny bit lower on the face. Left the face open, so it's gone to the right. Obviously, the face is the biggest determinant of direction, but 12.9 yards offline, that's not bad at all, really. I mean, a tour average is about 10 yards offline at this distance. Okay, felt much better on the face, toe to heel, maybe a little high vertically. When we catch it high on the face on a mat, that relates to a fat shot, so I probably hit an inch behind it or so. Obviously the mat will be a bit more forgiving, but good distance on that and direction. 5 yards offline and 190 of carry, so it's pretty impressive. For me, as a slow swinger, I'm happy with that. Maybe slightly low on the face, a groove low. Left the face open. I definitely felt cutting across it a bit. So once more, good distance, 187 carry, and what was that, 6.2 offline, so not a bad shot at all. That would leave me 18 feet for a birdie, and I'll go 6 shots with each club, so this is shot number 6. Alright, a bad one thrown in there. Off the toe. That seems to be the pattern today. Off the toe slightly, if I'm not thinking about it. But that shows the forgiveness of this club, because even though it was off the toe, and it was high on the face, that still carried 183 yards. It was offline by 8 yards, so again, directionally, very good. And yeah, that was 14 millimeters off the toe. This device actually tells me exactly. So 14 millimeters off the toe, that's a pretty bad strike. So let's now go in and tag. This is the old iron, so I've got the Callaway Razor X Tour. So this is the 10-year-old iron. Now let's hit a few shots with this one. Okay, felt toey, so that's good because we can make a good comparison. Again, reasonable direction. I've always been pretty good with direction. Distance has always been my issue, max distance. So that's 3.3 yards offline, 175 carry. Okay, that one felt a lot better, a lot more out of the sweet spot. Still says slightly toe. So again, keeping with the theme. It's one of those where, you know, even though it's toe, it's not enough to really worry too much about it. 176. I just have to monitor the pattern, make sure it doesn't get to that 14 millimeter range like the last one. Okay, that one felt good. I left the face open on it slightly. Something I should tell you, these clubs, the old ones are 3 degrees flatter than those ones. They are a little longer, so that balances it out a little bit. But I have a tendency to miss these more to the right as a result of it, unless I'm practicing with these clubs more often. So that was 7 millimeters off the toe and 172 carry. So let's try and strike this one a little bit better. Okay, that definitely felt better. Right down the center, still toey, but it was better than the last one. So the intervention I made. By the way, what do I think to change the toe and heel strike? I'm just thinking of doing the opposite. So that was 179 carries. So that's actually been one of the best carries with this club. Got 2 more shots left to go. Oh, that was fat. That was high on the face, toey. Right, I'm not gonna allow this next one to be too toey. I'm gonna put all my focus on that. So that was 166 yards of carry. So that's probably the shortest one there. 10 millimeters off the toe. Okay, better. Still toey. I think that's a common theme here for me today. It changes from day to day. It's not something I would worry about too much. I'm just kind of monitoring that pattern. So I'm monitoring the face direction, the ground strike, and the face strike. Those are 3 things that I'm really consciously aware of. Before we take a look at the data, I just want to let you know about a free ebook that I'm offering right now to help improve your games. Just click the link in the video description to get it. So if we go in and have a look at the data, you can see 6 shots from both of those. The old iron is on the bottom here, and that was 174 yards of carry. When we compare it to the new iron, the new 6 iron was 186 yards of carry. So that's a good 12 yards extra. So that's a full club extra. Now the reason for that, if we have a look at this column here, we've got a higher ball speed, 121.6 versus 117.4. So the higher ball speed is almost enough to account for it all the extra distance, but also the higher spin rate of the old 6 iron versus the lower spin rate of the new 6 iron, almost 1,000 reps lower, 1,000 RPMs lower. So the combination of that lower spin rate and faster ball speed is going to be more than enough to tell us or to give us that extra distance. Now an interesting thing here, if we look at the trajectory of the shots, what you see with the new iron, obviously because it's a low lofted club, it's going to launch a little lower. So we see an 18.7 versus a 19.2. Not as much difference as you'd think. But due to the fact it is going farther, you can see the peak height, the highest point of that curvature is much higher. So launch angle is not the only determinant of the peak height, it's also how long is it traveling along that trajectory. And going back to the table, an important thing for when you're hitting into greens, obviously there's a lower spin rate here with the new 6-iron, but the descent angle, 45.2 versus 45.6, is pretty much the same. So it's going to be coming in and hitting the green on the same angle, so stopping relatively similar. And when you add in the fact that, you know, this is going 186, it's going a full 12 yards farther, then for 175, if you're hitting 175 yards, rather than using my old 6-iron, I could use my new 7, and I'm going to be having a higher spin rate again and an even steeper descent angle. So overall, the new 6-iron was 12 yards longer than the old iron, and that's a full club. This was a result of higher ball speed and lower spin rates, and lots of that can be attributed to the lower loft of the club. Remember, the new 6-iron, it's 2 degrees stronger than the old 6-iron. And some of the extra ball speed may be a result of a hotter club face. So is it worth changing your irons? Well, dropping between $1,000 and $2,000 or even more in some cases on a new set of clubs, it's a big decision. And I'll have to be honest, it is nice hitting a full club farther, but whether it makes you a better player or not has more factors at play. I mean, logically, does it matter if you're 185 yards away and you're hitting a 6-iron instead of a 5-iron? Is it just a case of having a different number stamped on the bottom of the club? Well, in my next video, I'm going to try and test this exact scenario. I'm going to hit a 185 yard target and see whether I can get it closer, on average, with an old 5-iron or a new 6-iron. So subscribe to the channel to get the latest updates, tests, and instructional information. And if you like this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up and comment below saying what other tests you'd like to see done. And don't forget to click in the link in the description to get your free ebook to improve your game.